The election is only 30 days, actually less than 30 days away as of today. And it has come down to Kamala Harris, obviously, and Donald Trump. And the polls are tight, especially in the swing states. The polls are very, very tight. Depending upon which poll you look at, Kamala Harris is ahead. You look at another poll, Donald Trump is ahead. But the polls are tight. And like I said, we're down to fewer than 30 days, and people are already voting in some states. You've got people who are voting by mail, and you've got people who are voting in person. But this particular election is singularly unique in one respect. Donald Trump is everywhere. You cannot turn on a television without seeing Donald Trump. You cannot go onto your social media without seeing Donald Trump somewhere. That man is ubiquitous. And I live in a blue state. I live in Illinois, and I actually live in the southwest suburbs. Now, if you get south of Kankakee in the state of Illinois, it's pretty red for the most part. But north of Kankakee, Illinois is traditionally been a blue state. It has been a blue state for several election cycles. So what's unique about what happened to me recently, like I said, I live in the southwest suburbs of Chicago, and I was actually in Joliet. And I saw something that I thought I would never see in this part of the state. I saw a pop-up, a pop-up of someone who was actually selling Trump paraphernalia. Completely caught me off guard. And this pop-up was selling everything from car flags to sweatshirts to hats to anything you can think of. And you know, there were while the time that I was there were dozens of people who were driving by and honking their horns and driving by and stopping by and shopping and, you know, saying, hey, can I pay cash? Can I pay credit card? So what makes this particularly unique is that I got the opportunity to actually speak to the woman who was actually working this pop-up. She and her sister go around the state of Illinois because they live in the state of Illinois, again, a blue state. And they just go around the state of Illinois doing these pop-ups. And I had a really interesting conversation with her. Go ahead and take a look at it here. All right, everybody, I'm here with Julie. She is the proprietor. You and your sister are doing this selling these Trump shirts, hats.
Yeah, Trump paraphernalia, I guess you could say.
Basically. Yeah. How long? And you said you go all over in Illinois, right?
Right. Yes, we go to a lot of different Trump rallies and support him and back the blue stuff. We also do the back the blue because we're totally for the police and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So you're here. We're in Joliet right now.
That's what I've been told. I thought it was Plainfield, but I guess it's Joliet.
It's right when you cross that street. It changes. But you said tomorrow you're going to be in Schaumburg?
Tomorrow we'll be doing a Trump rally. Trump rally in Schaumburg and in Garfield Ridge. Okay. And we'll be out here selling stuff. We got everybody to show their support for Trump because, we're worried about our country for our grandkids and kids and grandkids and the young kids are coming around.
Right,
so
absolutely.
That's really good.
Well, we saw some young people come up, while I've been here.
I've had quite a few, young people. So.
And if you had to say the most important thing, because you mentioned, kids and grandkids, but what's the most important thing to you because you and I were talking off camera, and I was saying, when people come to me and they say, oh, if you're white and you're a Trump supporter, you're a racist, but then you and I were talking, hey, we both bleed the same red blood.
Exactly, we bleed the same blood. We're all, God's children, and that is very important to me that my granddaughter is still going to be able to worship God, if that's not a communist country. And I'm just afraid of that happening.
Right. So Schaumburg, you said tomorrow?
Schaumburg tomorrow, and Garfield Ridge on Archer, and like Narragansett over that way.
Okay, and you're just going to keep...
Right across the street from the library,
Okay, you're just going to keep doing these pop-ups until the election?
Oh, yeah, we've been doing them since 2016, before 2016.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're going to keep going, and then hopefully we're going to come back out with all the, the winning stuff. Winning shirts, yeah.
Well, it's really, really close.
Yes.
It's really, I think the last election that was this close was, Kennedy? and Nixon. I mean, it's really, really
Well,
close.
you know what they're doing with the flood and stuff, how they're supporting them. I think they're going to get a lot more, you know, for us too, because they're not doing too much for them. So
I've heard that too.
Yeah,
I've heard that too. Well,
and
look,
maybe swaying people the other way now too. So we'll see.
yeah. I don't know about you, but I found that interview to be fascinating. I took some notes really quickly just about the things that she was talking about. She said she's worried about the country. She's worried about that her children and her grandchildren will be able to worship God. And she's worried about the country becoming a communist country. She also, well, this is something that happened off camera, and there was another gentleman who was wearing a Trump hat that said, you know, the 2020 election was stolen. And when they were talking off camera, you know, they were saying, hey, they stole 2020, but they're not going to steal 2024 because we're not going to take it like we did last time. And I just find that fascinating because oftentimes we have these conversations and we try to just say, you know, one side just, they hate the other side. The left hates the right hates the left. Trump hates Kamala Harris, you know, the same. And there's all of these pejoratives and attacking people. But this woman, Julie, she's out there on the weekend on her own time, on her own dime. She had a carload full of Trump paraphernalia. Set up this tent. She's doing this on the weekends. I don't know if she works during the week. I didn't get that deep into it with her. But this is a woman who so believes that the Democratic Party is such a threat that she's taking her own time on the weekends to go out and do what she believes is going to help the country because she's worried about the direction of the country. She's worried that her children and her grandchildren aren't going to be able to worship God in the future. And she's worried about this country becoming a communist country. And then if you caught it at the end, she was talking about what was happening down in North Carolina and that the people of North Carolina who just suffered through Hurricane Helene weren't getting help from the federal government. So she believes that people are going to go to the Trump side based on the response to the hurricane. So it's very easy to just attack Trump supporters or just attack these people and just say they're ignorant or they're racist or any number of criticisms that we might have. But I think that's a missed opportunity. This woman, Julie, when I was talking to her, she sincerely believes that this country in the future is going to be going in the wrong direction. Her children and her grandchildren aren't going to be able to worship God, and that this country might become a communist country in the future. So the Democratic Party has to ask themselves, why are people, everyday Americans like Julie, why do they believe that? Obviously, that's what Trump is going out there and saying, and he's calling Kamala Harris Comrade Kamala and saying they're going to take your guns, and he's defending, you know, the religion. But it's just interesting to me that she believes that to be true, so much so that she and her sister are taking their time on the weekends going around and trying to, well, I guess for lack of a better word, evangelize people to the MAGA movement. So this is, like I said, this is a lesson because this isn't some political pundit with whom I was speaking. This isn't some politician. This isn't some high-priced donor. This is just a regular, ordinary American who's going out there and doing what she believes because she believes that her future and the future of her children and her grandchildren are in danger. We really have to do a better job of coming together as a country because the future of this country, whether you're Republican or Democratic, the future of this country is going, if it's worse, it's going to be worse for everybody. If it's better, it's going to be better for everyone. But I'm interested in hearing what it is that you have to say. Again, you can follow me, follow the David Seaton Show. Just take a moment and hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. Okay, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's get this conversation going in the comments. I'm interested to know what Trump supporters, what you think about that woman, Julie, and the perceptions that non-Trump supporters have of Trump and Trump supporters, and also individuals who are Kamala Harris supporters. I'm interested to know what you think when you see an ordinary American like Julie going out on the weekend and evangelizing for Trump. Is that a missed opportunity for Democrats to communicate a better and more inclusive message?